If you hood educated, I'm glad you made it. Allow me to unfold my knowledge, wisdom, and understanding from a hood brother's point of view to all of you, here, there, and everywhere. Now check me out. Now here it is, right? I'm talking about my DMs is getting flooded. All about this 1090 Jake snitching allegations, right? And a lot of people are saying, hey, hood educated, you spoke up on Trench's news and his snitching allegations. You ain't gonna speak up on 1090 Jake snitching allegations? Well, here I am. I'm finna talk about it. Before we get into this whole demonstration, let's get an understanding as to what snitching is. This is what snitching is, y'all. When a person provides information to law enforcement, that is snitching. But wait, right? Not just any information. The information that the person is providing to law enforcement must be unknown to law enforcement. What you mean, hood educated? You kind of got it twisted. We don't unknown and all this. What you talking about? Okay, let me break it down to you. For an example, right? If me, King AK-47, Seti Nash, and 1090 Jake go on a home invasion. We in there ransacking the place, we putting people down and everything, we taking care of business, right? This a home invasion. We get away. 5 days later, I get caught. Why? Because one of the victims in the home invasion say, that's hood educated. I know that's hood educated. Law enforcement come scoop me up. I'm in the county. I done got charged with home invasion, kidnapping, aggravated robbery. I'm sitting there. And in my charge papers, it say it was me and 3 other guys. But I'm the only one locked up. Now I tell the police, hey, I want to talk. I get down there to where the police do their investigative. Well, in Minnesota, it'd be homicide robbery. I get down there to the homicide robbery office and I sit down across from the police. And I say, it was a home invasion. I ran up in there. I put people under arrest. I took all their valuables. I held a gun to people's head. I zip tied them up. I did what people do in the home invasion. The robbery detectives are going to be looking at me like, we already know that. That has no value whatsoever. We already know you did all that. Tell us what we don't know. We want to know about those 3 other guys that was with you. And once I start telling, man, it was 1090 Jake, it was Seti Nash, and it was King AK-47. Now, I'm providing information to law enforcement that they did not know. Now I'm snitching. Now I'm telling. Now I am a snitch. Give you another example. Say some guys get into a shootout, right? They snatch me up because they know I was in the shootout. And I say, man, I want to talk to y'all, man. And they sit me down, right? I go to the robbery station and they sit me down. They say, okay, all right, hood educated, what happened? I say, man, them dudes were shooting at us, man. Okay. Yeah, they had a Draco, they had an AK, man, they had switches and everything. They all talking, man, they was shooting at us. They gonna say, okay, but we already understand that it was a shootout, hood educated. We know some guys was shooting at y'all and y'all was shooting back at the guys. Who was shooting at you? And once I get to start telling them, oh man, it was Nutcase, man, it was the Bulldog, and you know what I'm saying, Ray and Pookie. Now I'm providing information that they had no knowledge of. I'm snitching now. I'm telling. This is what happened. 1090 Jake is saying that the police lied on him. He is saying that the police lied and said that him and the other guy was going at it. 1090 Jake had a lock in the sock. This guy had a rock or a brick in the sock, and they just beating each other. They beating each other until the police say, stop. 1090 Jake is saying that that's not true. That's not what happened. So in this grievance, he's explaining the whole situation. And in the grievance, he says the guy named who assaulted him. He says all the people who were involved. He even explains to the warden, because this is who he's filing the grievance to. He even explains to the warden that, hey, these guys done threatened me. Your officers have threatened me and blackmailed me to go along with this whole thing. This is not true. This is not what happened. So he explains to the warden what happens. And not only that, lets the wardens know that, hey man, look, your COs is dirty and they playing a dirty game. Help me out here. Now, I know a lot of y'all probably saying, oh, okay then, hood educated, we feel where you're coming from, but how we don't know 1090 Jake is lying? We don't know, right? All we get is his word, and all we get is the incident report. But allow me to say this right here. I done did time. And for those of you who on there who have did time, we know that there are some crooked correctional officers. Not all of them. You got some good ones. You got some cool ones that I'm talking about that understand and want to make your time there as smooth as possible. But you got some bad apples, some crooked correctional officers. Believe me what I tell y'all. Can I tell y'all a story? Walk with me, right? Just walk with me. Now, when I first started doing my time in St. Cloud, back in the day, they used to call that gladiator school because that's where all the youngsters went to. And we got into the riot. You know, I'm a vice lord, right? So we got into a riot with the Crips. Shotguns and the 6-0s. Now, we on the yard. I'm talking about we tearing up the whole yard. We fighting, y'all. I'm talking about we everywhere. And truth be told, I'm not going to lie to y'all. When the riot first kicked off, I was running down the hill and there was a bunch of Crips. And I started running towards them. And they started running. And the only thing I could now, in hindsight, is 2020, they must have thought that I had a knife or something, but I didn't. I just had my fist because I'm like, okay, it's going down. But as I'm chasing them, I realized that, wait a minute. All the vice lords is over here fighting with Crips. Now, I done got way over here by myself with all these Crips. And when they realized, when they must have realized that I didn't have a knife, they all stopped. And that's what wait, that's what made me. And I'm like, man. And they started coming towards me. I can't make it back to where all the vice lords is at fighting. I'm stuck out here by myself. So I put my back up against the fence and I'm like, it is what it is. And they came. They putting the floop flop flams on me, right? But I'm floop flopping back because it is what it is, right? And I'm thinking to myself like, okay, I just can't hit the ground because I don't want them to stump me. As long as I got my back up against this fence and I'm throwing them, I should be all right. No, next thing you know, I'm on the ground. But when I hit the ground, before I know it, it's just all type of dust and stuff like that. And I see the feet of these Crips running away from me. And so when I look up, it's one of the lords. He grabbed me by my collar. He got me like this, y'all, by my collar. And he got that thing. Now, this is all we got our charges. This is all dead and gone with, so I can talk about it. But he got that thing. He came to rescue me, right? And so as he's grabbing me, I'm trying to get up, but Lord is so damn strong. Every time I get up, he trying to drag me to safety. I'm like, Lord, let me get up. I can't get up because he dragging me. It's so much going on. We go to the hole. I'm trying to show y'all how dirty correctional officers is. We go to the hole. All the Crips, most of the Crips, most of the Vice Lords. Soon as they get us in the hole, they stripping us down because they maced us and stuff. They, spraying the water on us and all that old type of stuff. It goes up again out there on the yard. Crips and Vice Lords fighting again, right? So we all in the hole. Yeah, hey Lord, woo, the Crips, hey cuz, woo. So we young, right? So they go get the other batch of brothers and the other batch of Crips, and they bring all them to the hole. Couple of days go by, they do what they do. Hey, you guys want to make a statement? We ain't got nothing to talk about. You seen the nurse, you cool? Man, I'm straight, man. Send me back to my cell. So now it's time for them to give us our hour out. It's time for the correctional officers to let us out our cell to get some air, right? You get an hour out because they don't want you to be in that hole, in that cell, segregated away from everybody. You go crazy. So they give you time out to kick it and, to do a little exercise and stuff like that. So all the lords is coming out, right? We young, we happy. Hey, Lord, la vida va va, I'm going to see you on the Lord. We young, right? Almighty brother, we yelling over together. Hey, Lord, hey, just bring me a book. Ooh, hey, it was live, right? So as they bringing all the lords out, I was the last one of the vice lords. There's this big old cage. They got all the vice lords in the big cage. They bring me out and put me in a big old cage by myself. Now, I'm thinking to myself when they did this, now I gotta holler at the other lords through the gate, right? And while I'm thinking to myself like, okay, they put me over here by myself because they knew that I was running it for the vice lords back. And I'm not trying to sound like this big time guy, nothing like that, but I had the joint for the lords at that time. I really had no business even in the riot. The brothers in Stillwater was talking about putting me in a violation for even being in that riot. But I was a soldier before I was a leader. And we young. I'm riding. So I'm in this big old gated cell type thing by myself. All the other lords is in the other one. And we talking through the gate to each other. Hey, Lord. Hey, man. Hey, dude caught your ass, bro. I seen it. He dropped you, though. But I did this, that, and that. We talking about the ride. So tell me why. Next thing I know, I hear the chains. They bringing guys out. It's all the Crips that we just was in a riot with. And guess where they brought them to? The cage that I was in by myself, they brought all the Crips that we was just riding with in the cage with me. Riding. And you know what the street code told me? I couldn't say nothing. I had to sit there. And if they wanted to kill me that day, they could have killed me. The street code told me you gotta stand tall. You can't cur out. You can't say, whoa. Put me over here. I'm with the vice lords, man. Y'all got all these I couldn't do that. So I had to sit there while they let Crip by Crip up in here, and I'm in there by myself, and all the other lords are in a whole nother cage. They can't help me if they wanted to because it's all barbed wire fenced off. But the good thing, I'm talking about, man, the good thing about that, because my heart beat, I'm scared to death. I'm thinking these Crips finna tear my ass up. I'm not finna lie. But the guys that had it for the Crips, rest in peace to Labo. Anybody in St. Paul and in Minneapolis, they know about Labo from Shotgun, right? And another homeboy that had it for them a tie stick, big tie stick from Shotgun, right? And from 60s, it was a brother named Troublemaker, Big Troublemaker, right? And so they walking towards me. I'm like, man, they finna do me in. They finna do it. But they was like, don't worry about it. We know what it is, but we ain't gonna do it like this though. This is what they tell me out their mouth. Like, we ain't tripping, but we know what it is though. They understood what the police was doing. They understood what the correctional officers was doing. They was involving themselves in our politics. And the correctional officers wanted them to beat me half to death, because what happened is once they let us outside, the correctional officers, they go back into the unit and they don't come back out until the hour is over with. They wanted them to beat me to death up in there. But being that the Crips recognized what was going on, they was like, nah, we ain't gonna let them get in our politics like that. You know what I'm saying? And I was safe because there was some other Crips in there that they was ready. They wanted to do that to me. They was on that. But Labo, rest in peace to that brother. Tie Stick, Big Troublemaker, Big Tie Stick, Big Troublemaker. They was, hey, cuz, chill out, cuz. Nah, we ain't, You know what I'm saying? And from that day, I always respected them brothers for that right there, because they could have did me in, but they didn't. My point is, what I'm trying to show y'all is that correctional officers, some of them can be real dirty. So when 1090 Jake is telling this story about them lying on him and stuff like that, I believe him. I believe him because I done seen it. Not just with my situation, but I done seen them do stuff like this just to ruin somebody. Like, they will lie and just ruin you just so they can send you to a whole nother facility to mess up your points and to make you do more time in the prison. Some of them is crooked, y'all. So when he say that they played him like that, and when he was filing the grievance to the warden trying to say, hey man, look, this how they treat me over here. Help me out. They trying to ruin everything I got going on. You know what I'm saying? I honor it and I believe him. The only way to seek some type of relief in a situation like that is to file a grievance to someone who is above the officers, the lieutenants, the sergeants, the captain. You gotta go all the way up top. And if you can see by the grievance, he went straight to the warden. Now, a lot of people are saying that he told because he gave away information as to the names of the participants in the assault that happened against him, and because he's requesting help, and because he's saying, look, I'm a victim in this whole thing. How the hell I'm a victim and I'm finna get all this damn new time, and then y'all finna send me to closed custody, giving me more time for something that happened to me, right? A lot of people are saying that he's snitching because of that, and this is what I'm going to say. How can a person snitch if the only thing that he provides to law enforcement is the information that they already know? That's why whenever people do snitch and they decide to tell, the first thing that the police want to know is they want to know what they don't know. What's the name? What do you mean? What's the name of the guys that you was with? They want to know stuff they don't know. What's the names of the guys that was trying to kill you? They want to know about stuff that they don't know. That's snitching. Why, hood educated? Why you gonna say 1090 Jake ain't snitching? Let me explain to y'all why. Because the information that 1090 Jake provided was information that they already knew. They already knew the names of the people that was involved in the assault. They already knew everything. It wasn't like he was providing them new information. And not only that, it wasn't like he was providing them information that would get somebody locked up, get somebody extra time or anything like that. He just playing like, hey man, wait a minute, like y'all doing me wrong. Y'all doing me out of pocket. And for that right there, I'ma say nah. No. It wasn't no snitching done in that whole demonstration. And let me say this right here because that's just my viewpoint. It ain't got to be your viewpoint. You can believe what you want to believe and see it how you want to. That's on you. I'm explaining to y'all my belief and what I believe. Now, let me say this right here. A lot of y'all on here ain't never been in a position to snitch on nobody a day in your life. And you up here to my, he a snitch. I'ma stand tall and ain't never been charged with nothing serious. Ain't never been in a position, I'm talking about with your life on the line. Ain't never been through none of that. Let's be clear here. Snitching and all that old type of stuff, man, that criminal lifestyle is crap. I don't agree with it. The street code is stupid. It's stupid as hell. I don't agree with it. I just wish I never would have fell into that. I wish I never would have fell into that. But that shit is dumb. It's stupid. Because here it is, man, if them Crips wanted to kill me that day, I wouldn't be here right now. If them Crips had it in their mind, if we catch one of these vice lords, we gonna kill him. I was dead. But the street code told me, no, you can't say nothing, bro. You gotta sit here and die. Yeah, you gotta sit here and die. You can't preserve your life. You can't save your life. Why? Because you can't snitch. You can't say nothing. And a lot of you so-called street niggas that's out here that, man, you can't say nothing. You can't let somebody do a hit and run and hit your car. What you gonna do? Get right on that phone and start snitching to the insurance company. Yeah, it was a red car. Yeah, it was. That was going pretty fast. Yeah, my car is totaled. Snitching ass. Yeah, you with your tough ass. Gonna be on that snitching to the insurance. Well, we need you to get a police report, sir. Oh, I called the cops. They're on their way right now. Listen, man. The street code is the dumb code. That shit right there don't love you. It ain't gonna do nothing but cause you to lose time out your life and possibly lose your life trying to hold up to a code that don't give a damn about you. This hood educated, not lane related. Peace and love, and y'all take care of yourself out there. If I said anything that caused you to think, please hit that like button and that subscribe button if you're not subscribed to the channel already. And if you're feeling generous, please make a small donation to the channel. Peace and love.